Okay, YouTubers, this is a quick version of the part 3 of the brake line video. Sorry it's taken me so long. I haven't been able to get to this, and life kind of got in the way real severely, but I'm going to try to do this real quick. 3 minutes. Okay, here's the old rusty brake lines. Getting these things off of the parts is really hard because these nuts do not turn anymore. And so if you can turn them, great. Again, some sort of penetrating lube is your best friend on this. If you can't, the best thing to do is use an oscillating cutter like this, or a short metal saw of some sort, and just cut them. And that's what I did, like on this one down here. I was so rusted there was no way it was going to turn. And on the short ones in the back, I just broke it off anyway, trying to turn it. These ones are a little tougher, but you save yourself some time if you just cut these off. And at that point, just use a socket, deep or standard socket. Put them on there and wrench it off. Strongly recommend lots of penetrating lubricant. Use whatever is your favorite type of penetrating oil or lubricant or whatever, and leave it on there for as long as you can, and blast it with these guys, and it should come off. Okay, what to put on? What I recommend is Nikon right here, and it comes in 25-foot rolls, and I'll tell you what sizes and everything to use. For putting fittings on, you can use, there's these flare wrenches, but it's really tight up in there, or standard wrenches. I actually, to be honest, I use standard wrenches, but I can't find them right now, but a stubby combo wrenches that I bought, again, Harbor Freight, I know, but they're about half this length, and they fit up in there just fine, although you do have to install in the correct order. You start from nearest to the frame rail and work your way actually in towards the center of the vehicle. Up, down, up, down, up, since there's 5 of those fittings. Okay, let's go over what fittings do you need. Okay, these trucks are weird, so I'm just going to go over this. Okay, I was going to write this down nicely, but this is just a quick schematic sketch of the truck. Front's up here, rear's down here. These lines are 3/16 inch, and they have the standard fittings. I would actually kind of recommend you just measure it and buy the pre-made ones that you can get at your auto store and fit them in. You may have to bend them a little bit to, make a little kind of loop to make them fit, but just get the next size longer, and that's these guys. All the rest of the lines are 1/4 inch lines. So that means this union is going to be a 3/16, 3/16, 1/4 inch T union. Okay? Now this is where it gets tricky. Chevrolet or GM, for whatever reason, used an ABS and a master cylinder sized for 5/16 inch lines, not 1/4 inch. That's the next size up. You have some options on this, but here's what I would recommend. Use this NICOP, N-I-C-O-P-P line. It's 1/4 inch. It's mostly copper. It's really soft. You do not use tools to bend this. If you use bending tools, you'll actually most likely kink it or flatten it. You don't want to do that. You just use your fingers and make broad bends. Don't try to bend it all in one area. It's actually an advantage with this because you don't need to buy bending tools, and it flares really easily. Even I can do it, and that is the truth. If I can do it, you can do it. Believe me. Okay, so these fittings in here, these 5 and these 2 at the master cylinder, are actually sized for the next size up, 5/16, not 1/4 inch. That means their thread is actually 1/2-20. And normally the 1/4 inch fittings are 7/16-24. okay? The sizing on brake line fittings is weird. When it's standard, it just uses the tube size. When it's non-standard, it gives the thread size. This is where it's weird. So what you're going to look for is fittings that are 1/4 inch tube and 1/2 20, 1/2 inch - 20 threads per inch threading on them, outside threading or male threading on these. And that's for these 5 on the ABS and these 2 on the master cylinder. Now sometimes there's a proportioning valve in here. The 99 and 2000 Silverados do not have that proportioning valve. I think it's 2001 and up have it. I do not know the sizes of those fittings. I don't have one here to work on, so check that. So what you have to do, and this is why you can't use the pre-made ones really unless you use adapters right here, which I tried and failed at. And so you're going to make your own, little ones here. So, and then at the brake end up here and up over here, those are the standard 1/4 inch fittings. So you need to make 2 tubes going from the ABS to the brake on the front right and the front left that have the 1/2 inch 20 on one end and the standard 1/4 inch tube on the other end. And then you need 2 of them that are 1/2 inch 20 on both ends, and they run up to the master cylinder. And then you need another, actually there's 3 of them that have the 1/2 inch 20 and 1/4 inch on the other end. This rear one also going to the splitter. Sorry about that. So this is from looking on top of the truck down through the truck. This is the way they're set up. This one closest to the frame rail goes back to the splitter. The next one actually goes over to the front right. That's the center one up on top. And the right one up on top goes over to the front left. They cross. Everything crosses. And then underneath that there's 2, and this is shown, but this is looking at it like you're going to look at it from underneath the truck. And the only way I can explain it is that the and the one farther away from the frame rail goes to the rear of the master cylinder, and that connects actually to the front brake lines. So the front brake lines are on the inside, they connect to the rear port of the master cylinder, and vice versa. So I'll give you a good shot here. That's what it looks like. This stuff is really easy to route, and most of the routing is very simple. The only complicated one goes from the ABS to the opposite corner of the truck here. And what I'm going to tell you to do is jack the truck up, take off this tire, and take off that inner fender plastic cover, and then you thread it in through this way first, and once you get it over there, you're going to have some excess sticking out. Then thread it down through the frame and back to the ABS. You're going to make some big bends in it to do that, but with a little bit of patience, it does work. And with that inner fender, that plastic sheet that protects the engine from all the road grime out of there, you got loads more room, and the tire off. You got loads more room to get that in there, and you have to thread it down right here. There's a really narrow spot where it starts to go under the cab. Get those, kind of into the right area. As far as flaring goes, this is the flaring kit that I recommend. I don't like the yoke types. I've had nothing but bad luck with them. This is an inline flare system. This screws into here, and I have videos showing it. It's pretty self-evident how to use it. The instructions are pretty good. The only thing that you do need that is not included is one Allen wrench and I have the size on here. Okay, 3/16 Allen wrench. That is not included in this kit, but the 1/4 inch is the middle one right here. It has 3/16, 1/4 inch, and 5/16. You'll need this one right here, these two parts, and you hit it twice. Lubricate it with brake fluid before you do it, and clean it up afterwards. This is sold under several different names, but it's an inline flaring kit. Cost me about $35. It does a really good job. The yoke kinds I've had really mixed luck, with getting good ones and really bad ones. And then when you put them on, again, start on the ABS unit, start from next to the frame, the one that goes to the rear, and tighten that down, and then work your way up and down in. The stubby wrenches, go to Harbor Freight or Craftsman or wherever, and get the shortest set of open-end wrenches that you can find. That's all that really fits in there. I know technically you're supposed to use flare wrenches. I did not, I'll be honest. I did not, and it worked just fine. Just be careful, don't go gorilla on it or anything like that. You're trying to seal it, not destroy it. And so other than that, good luck. If you have any questions, leave a comment and let me know, and I'll do my best for you. Bye.